Hey everyone, in this video we're taking a look at a 2021 M1 Max with 64GB RAM now in 2024, testing out these three games. The reason for this is because in 2024 there's a lot of options you could get for games. I wanted to showcase that the recording method is with two video capture cards, and like I mentioned, this device was picked up for about $2,000 at Micro Center. From the three games tested so far, I'll be testing more. We could see that the M1 Max, forgot what year it is still performing fairly well despite being 3 years old. And ultimately what this gaming benchmark series and later videos aim to show is if you could get a refurbished M1 Max or a used M2 Max versus paying full price, this particular device has 64GB RAM, so this would cost about $4,000 if you got a similar config with the M3 Max. So you're saving about $2,000. Is that $2,000 worth saving if you're trying to do some gaming and even some OBS streaming? That's what this video aims to do. I've been showcasing the on-screen device that is recorded with an Elgato. I will say that the Elgato, I noticed some issues with recording. It appeared that like when I was recording off screen with a different laptop, it just seemed choppy in OBS. I'm not sure if it's the Elgato or whatnot, but when I switched the recording method to be recording with a cam link, it seems smooth. And here you can see recording off the A6000 on screen, as in the laptop screen. It's silky smooth, but for some reason the desktop recording was kind of choppy. So now the recording method is, this is recorded locally on the MacBook, so everything you'll see from this game out and forward is OBS recording two 1080p screens to get multicam, and I'm recording the A6000 on this cam link, which is what you're seeing here, and then the on-screen is recorded also with OBS using the Mac OS screen capture of OBS to record. So both these files are recording on the same file, so basically what that means is there's two 1080p outputs left to right, and then I use post-edits, DaVinci Resolve, and Final Cut to get kind of the multicam footage here. So I'll leave the commentary here of how this video is going to run, my inputs, my takes of obviously of gameplay footage, raw gameplay footage with some takes over it. I think this game runs fine, and if you are a streamer, let's say you want to run OBS or Streamlabs or something of that nature, I could see some of these casual games running on the Mac OS system on the M1 Max. I do always mention in a lot of my reviews that sometimes just if you want to do gaming, it's better to just get a gaming laptop, but here the M1 Max kind of runs cool, fan noises isn't that loud, and it records the game, this game in particular, because it's shut on metal. I do think that there's a good future out for Mac Gaming, because as they keep developing Game Port Toolkit and people keep coming up with stuff such as Wine, and it gets upgraded more and more, I could see a future where lots of games run pretty well with Game Port Toolkit. I will say though that in my experience with a Bluetooth mouse, there's still some kind of bug or lag or something with macOS systems where the Bluetooth mouse don't work. So this particular video I'm actually recording with a hardwired device. So that said, you can see here that No Man's Sky runs pretty well on the M1 Max, which was originally released in 2021. I'll just leave the gameplay footage because I'm out of commentary to say, but you can use the down time bar on YouTube to get to the next games I do, and at the beginning of each game I give commentary, and then I just leave it with the raw gameplay footage. So on to the next one. Enjoy this No Man's Sky gameplay.
Navigational data received.
So the next gate is Baldur's Gate 3. So this game was actually just released in 2024. So when the time that M1 Max came out, you couldn't even test this game. So what I ended up doing is I put it to this resolution and I test out the game running on the default settings that it loaded when I launched the game. So it runs at 18,000 by 1169, which I believe is kind of the native resolution of the 14-inch M1 Max, or that's what it would be if you didn't leave the retina setting by itself. And you see here that the settings are max, ultra, and high. So I restarted the game after changing some of the settings to get the HUD display showing, which is the top right thing you'll be seeing in all these games. And also the Part 2 series, when I test out more games, it'll be similar to this. So as if you remember the charts from the beginning of the video, there was some slowdown. I'm not sure if it was because I was recording with OBS or not, but it gets down to like 15 frames per second. And if you follow the subreddit, people complain that Act 3 gets really slow. Obviously, I don't play this game too much. Really, my main game is Dota 2. I will say though that this game ran at about 40 FPS average at this portion, which is Act 1, and this was with the default settings high to ultra. I'd expect if I'm running on medium, I could get 60 frames per second, but definitely playable. And at a portable, if you could get this device at Micro Center, you know, $2,000 is a heck of a deal to get 64 gigabytes RAM and 2 terabytes SSD.
Time to strike. On the move. Swift and lethal.
Very well then.
You! Get me out of this damn thing!
We have no time for stragglers.
The construction is too alien. Nothing looks familiar.
This ship is crashing. Do you intend to die for a stranger?
Try that contraption next to the pod. They did something to it when they sealed me in. Hurry! Please!
The console appears dormant. The mechanisms are completely unrecognizable at first, but then you spy an empty socket. Nothing. The console remains dormant.
I can't turn it on.
Come on! Get me out of this thing! Keep looking!
Don't linger.
You are beautiful.
Skra. How many hosts of these gay infected?
A dazed woman is trapped inside the pod.
Let me out!
Are they plants? I never knew mind flayers had such green fingers.
We're nearing the helm. Once inside, do as I say.
Let me out! Come on! Get me out of this thing! Wait! That can't be. There has to be another way. Please!
It cannot be helped. Come.
Don't mind if I do. Curious. Looks like it might fit into that. A brain. How delightful.
The console appears dormant. The console hums to life. Suddenly, you feel a hideous squirming in your head. The parasite. Then discomfort fades, and another sensation washes over you. Connection. Authority. Brain of the console process your command and yield to it. A shiver runs across your mind. You feel sated.
At last. I thought that damn thing was going to be.
Your mind lurches into her thoughts. Her gratitude is mixed with wariness, because you have a gith with you.
You keep dangerous company. I did. It must be. They'll have to wait. Let me come with you. We can get off this ship and what? Shadowheart. It's nothing.
Enough of this.
She's right.
So the last game I tested, something that I've always tested from the M1 Pro, M1 Max, all the way up to the M3 Pro, M3 Max. So this setting runs at high with ambient occlusion turned off, and the resolution is, I think, native resolution. So this particular scene, I start off in the beginning in a small area, but then later gets onto the city scenes. So essentially what you get here is about 60 frames per second indoors, and then when swinging around, it actually gets down to probably 30 to 40. I'd probably have to turn some settings down to get to 60, but compared to some of the newer devices like the M2 Max or M4 Max, basically it runs way better, in my opinion, on the M3 Max and M3 Pro. So that could be something you want to consider. For the same price range of $2,000, you could get an M3 Pro. So I would say that the M1 Max and M3 Pro are probably in the same price range of things you have to decide. However, the M3 Pro only comes base at $1,899 with 512 gigabytes SSD. So there's a trade-off of your gaming performance or graphical output versus the newer architecture, but you get 64 gigabytes RAM and 2 terabytes SSD. At least that's the configuration I got. Whereas if you were to go with the M3 Pro that has a newer architecture, you only get 18 gigabytes RAM and 512 gigabytes SSD. So I think it's a trade-off. Now with those settings, the game does run a little better, but I would say that from the long-term user perspective, a refurbished device that came out in 2021 is probably the better bet to go, because Apple doesn't really discount things. So I think that this is just 3 games tested. I have more to test in later parts or later video series. I do very light gaming, and the main game I play is Dota 2. I think that if you're a casual gamer, I'm trying to travel more in Europe, make some more content. I just recently got my personal channel monetized, so be sure to check that out. At the end of this video, I'll leave a link. But essentially, I'm trying to just get out of gaming and get more into kind of making other types of content. Blood Logic Tech has always been just get a new laptop, run kind of the games I have, see if there's other games I should buy that people want. So I will leave at this particular point. You'll see at the end of this video, I actually got stuck and had to watch a YouTube video on how to beat this circuit thing, but then when I finally beat it, the game froze, so that was kind of disappointing. But I'll leave some the rest of this video to watch some of the gameplay. You can see swinging around, it's about 40 to 45 frames per second. And I believe the M3 Pro and M3 Max in my other videos showcased that it was running way better. So something to consider if there's a lot of laptop choices out there, and with each year you don't have to get the best one. I think I saw a Costco deal that was running the M2 Max at around $2,600. That's actually a pretty good price range for that device as well, but it was sold out when I wanted to get it. So keep all this in mind. There's a lot of different laptop choices out there, and actually I have a $500 G14 that came out in 2021. Maybe I'll do a comparison video there. That particular device kind of runs games better because it doesn't have to run the emulation layers. It has 16 gigabytes RAM and 512 gigabytes SSD. I got it for $500 at Micro Center and runs the game I like to play, Dota, better than Mac OS. So just lots of choices out there, everyone. So with that being said, leave some comments below what you think of this device, 1899 at Micro Center. Is this a deal or not? Or what would you guys be getting in 2024? I'm curious to see what you guys are considering buying, used or new, MacBook or gaming. There's lots of options, and I think the past 3 years of gaming laptops could suffice on most games. If you get something like an RTX 3050 or above, you'll be set. So I want to see your comments. Thanks for watching this video. Thanks for watching and subscribing. Be sure to check out my personal channel, which is linked at the end of this video. That's it. Enjoy the gameplay and watch me stumble at the circuits. Peace.
Found you. That's Ty Stone's place, and it's full of priceless art. You're playing with fire, Felicia, but I guess that's how you roll.
Hey, do you have time to check something out for me?
No, but if you ask nicely.
Just got a call about a suspicious-looking box on a rooftop in Hell's Kitchen. I could call in the bomb squad, but if it's just some kid's science project...
Yeah, I know. Budget crisis. Yada, yada, yada. So...
will you please check it out?
There's the magic word. I hope it's some kid's science project. Man, I miss those days. School projects are so much easier than real life.
Okay, so this station collects overflow data from all the others. Yeah, God forbid we waste Oscorp's server space. Anyway, do me a favor and make sure it's running smoothly, or everything these stations do is for nothing.
This isn't nearly enough server space. It's close to overloading. That'll trigger a purge, and everything Harry has will be lost. I can't let that happen. Wait, ESU has a backup server near here they never use. That can handle the excess data. But I'll need to realign the transmission dishes to make a link from here to there, fast. The active receiver's easy to find. Just have... Okay, now to find another link in the array. taking up all that space on Harry's servers? Looked like DNA sequencing, but that seems beyond the scope of the research stations. Focus, Pete. It won't matter what's on the server if it all gets erased. Getting close. Should be in view of the ESU server now. Got it. Now I can initiate the data transfer if I hurry. Looks good. Let's see. Good. Should be in view of the ESU server now. Got it. Now I can initiate the data transfer if I hurry. Good. Let's see. Let's see. Everything's